Far-right influencer and Stop the Steal organizer Ali Alexander, he's really sorry. He is sorry for creeping on underage boys. On Friday night, Ali Alexander issued this statement saying this: "I apologize for any inappropriate messages sent over the years. When I flirted or others have flirted with me, I flexed my credentials or dropped corny pickup lines. Other times I've been careless and should have qualified those coming up to me's identities during flirtatious banter at the start." Okay. So, I'm sorry for the inappropriate messages. Wait till you see the messages, or I'm going to read some of them to you. And look, the issue here is not being, oh, I'm flirtatious and, oh, sometimes I just have a little bit of a lapse of judgment. No, no. You're going after children. So, allegedly, of course. Now, let me give you the details, okay? In 2017, Alexander had, gotten into an online conversation with a certain now right-wing influencer himself. This, at the time in 2017, this person was 15. Alexander had requested and received, explicit images from one Aiden Duncan. This is according to an account Duncan had given in a March 2023 podcast appearance. Again, Duncan is a massive right-winger, allied with Nick Fuentes and his America First neo-Nazi movement. So we're not dealing with good people here. But if it's true that he was exploited by Ali Alexander as an underage person, well, that's serious. That's not good. That's bad. All right, so now, in exchange for the images, Alexander had allegedly promised to share his network of right-wing contacts, including meeting Milo Yiannopoulos, another person who had, been canceled by the right wing for a short time for downplaying pedophilia. So, lovely. That's what we're dealing with. And by the way, it's the group that thinks that drag queens are the ones who are grooming. No. Some of the quotes here are from Snapchat screenshots revealed by the Daily Beast. One of them purports to show Alexander laying out rules for the contact with the teenager. Well, no, wait a minute. Rules here? What are you talking about? We got rules here? I thought he was saying he was being careless. No, he knew what he was doing. In my opinion, at least. So, here are the rules. Many of them stressed secrecy and a sort of quid pro quo relationship between sexual availability and career opportunities. Everything, one rule said, is secret and private. We're family. Oh, I don't know if you want to use that definition. Oh, yes. No, we're family. Like what? Like a mountain family? No, I'm okay. Let's rephrase that so that you know what I mean. Because it's the, very, very sick. Okay, you know what? I'm going to drop it. Moving on here. Okay. It's weird. It's creepy. And also, remember, we're talking about an underage boy, a teen boy. It's messed up. All right. So now another message said that Duncan was allowed to say no. Oh, he was allowed. Boundaries are cool. However, the less you deprive me of, the less I deprive you of. I'm a big sharing person. Unless it's not even. Big sharing person. Oh, I think we know exactly what he was trying to share there. And again, we're dealing with an underage boy, a child. Now, the report said that Alexander had grown frustrated by May of 2019 claiming that the still underage Duncan would not send him, quote unquote, good jack-off material. Quote, you don't even send me videos anymore. You don't even want to be my side piece. A day later, according to screenshots, he asked Duncan to come to Texas for a week for a internship. Oh, internship. Sure. Is that what we're calling it these days? Now, look, Duncan's career eventually did take off on the right wing, or maybe it didn't. I'm not really sure what to call it, an evolution or a devolution, because he ended up palling around with Nick Fuentes and still is. All of them are pretty horrible people, but again, if this is all true, it's a clear example of exploitation of a minor. And by the way, a lot of people knew about it. Yiannopoulos knew. Yiannopoulos is the one that started releasing tapes. He's like, oh, you're going to drop my name in order to, get pictures of teen boys? Oh, no. That's not going to happen. I'm going to release what I know. But you knew this was happening before and you didn't say anything? So you were covering up for this kind of activity, Milo? Until now? What the hell? Again, this is all sorts of effed up. All right. And so, by the way, some of the other evidence, I guess, that Yiannopoulos claims to have, again, releasing tapes, video interviews, and other things meant to prove that Alexander had, again, creeped on this teenager and another one, and I'll get to that story. So now Duncan came out and said this as well. Quote, when I was 15, I was naive and desperate. I thought I had no choice but to cooperate with inappropriate and humiliating requests if I wanted to make it in politics. I figured that was just the nature of the game. No. Definitely not. When asked if, again, his buddy Nick Fuentes knew, he said, yes, I think Nick is 100% aware. So, allegedly, Nick Fuentes was sitting on this kind of stuff too. All while, again, projecting that no, it's the LGBTQ community. It's the drag queens, the teachers, the woke agenda, woke mind virus. Jesus Christ. And by the way, it's not the only time Nick was allegedly aware of Alexander's activities. And so now we'll go to the next person. Alexander had started messaging 17-year-old Lance Johnston in the summer of 2019. Johnston claims that a friend warned him earlier to the communications that Alexander has a history of asking for explicit images. And of course, that's allegedly what happened. Alexander, according to Johnston, moved oddly quickly towards discussing sex with the teenager. Remember, at this point, he's in his 30s. Alexander is trying to get, these images from a 17-year-old. In 2019, in what Johnston claims was the night of the White House social media summit, where Trump was with Alexander and other conservatives as victims of online censorship, the 34-year-old Alexander used an eggplant emoji to ask the teenager for a picture of, well, I think you know what that stands for, okay? Johnston says that he had refused and blocked Alexander, then took a screenshot of the exchange, but was fearful of raising the issue more broadly on the far right. So, here we go. This actually goes back to the allegations, reminds me of the allegations against Matt Schlapp, from a staffer that was working on, now I'm blanking on his name for some reason, but there was a Georgia, I don't know why, my brain's not working today, but there was a Senate race that they were working on, and there were allegations of inappropriate contact. So it seems like this is a thing that happens a lot in right-wing circles. Not a good thing. They seem to have a giant problem here with, again, hypocrisy and projection. So now, in exchange, Fuentes, getting back to him, okay? So what happened is that a friend of Johnston's published the screenshot anyway. It made the rounds on right-wing social media until it died down. Afterwards, it came back up during the Kanye West fiasco. That's when Fuentes, who again allegedly knew about all of this going on, tried to get Johnston to apologize, claiming that Johnston was faking the message for some sort of, I don't know, for reasons. And yes, it's Herschel Walker. I don't know why I blanked out on that. So here's what Johnston said. I thought in my mind he would try his best to discredit me and ruin me politically and influentially with my time in politics. Remember, these are all right-wing influencers. This Johnston is a conservative TikTok star, apparently. Now, in exchange for disowning the eggplant exchange, according to Johnston, Fuentes and Alexander had offered him a job in politics. Hey, keep your mouth shut and we'll hook you up. Johnston said, basically, they wanted me to lie, apologize to Ali, and then they said they would try to get me a job. Weird. No, look, not weird at all. Here's the thing. We know that Ali is denying all this, okay? Fuentes also denies trying to get Johnston a job, but did say he tried to reach out to Johnston to get him to, apologize to Ali. But again, let's be honest here. The far right is a hive of scum and villainy. They've got a lot of skeletons in that closet. A lot. And look, here's, it's like they claim that, oh no, see the left, they're the bad ones. See, it's the left, it's the trans people that are fighting for equal rights, it's the teachers, it's drag queen story hour. Yes, that's indoctrinating the children with the woke propaganda in order to sexualize them for the adults. Yes, that's what's going on here. Oh yes. No, that's not what's going on. In reality, you have people like Yiannopoulos, Alexander, Ali, and Nick Fuentes, who are either, allegedly doing these things or helping other people do these things and then cover it up, or downplaying the predatory behavior towards the teenagers in order to protect people on their side in the MAGA movement. It's almost like, again, all of this is just massive projection. Massive projection. And by the way, fun fact, back in August, another Fuentes associate, Alejandro Richard Velasquez Gomez, was arrested and charged with the possession of, get it, child pornography. Of course. Velasquez went by the moniker Latino Zoomer online and has been photographed with Fuentes and faces charges over allegedly threatening a conference held by a rival conservative group. Huh. Yeah. Again, super weird. It's like we're finding out where the groomers are, and every time we find out where they are, it just happens to be they're in the right wing, they're in the far right, and they're doing projection upon everyone else. We have no choice. We've got to shut down the far right. I mean, until we know what the hell is going on, because the groomers are coming from somewhere. They're coming from somewhere, and it looks like it's the right wing. We got to shut it down. We have no choice.